I'm very excited because you may have seen at the beginning of the show we talked all about weddings because I'm going to get to be bridesmaid this weekend, and I'm sure I'm not the only person gearing up to be bridesmaid over this summer months, and possibly some of you are gearing up even to be the bride, and I'm sure you know it can be a very stressful time. Well, somebody who knows all about the stress and how to take it away is Patricia. Thank you for joining us this morning. Now, you're actually from weddingacademy.co.uk, so tell us a little bit more about that website.
Okay, well basically we're a company that holds wedding workshops throughout the northwest of England. Okay, it's a full one-day workshop in which we take you through the A to Z and a little bit more of actually getting married. Further to that, we give you an absolutely fantastic lunch and a fantastic goodie bag, and there's a champagne reception at the end of the day.
This sounds absolutely fantastic. So Patricia, you are not a wedding, well you are a wedding, but you can be a wedding planner yourself, correct. But that's not what the Academy is about, is it? No. It's about taking, because from the day you decide to start planning that, it could be a year, it could be 18 months.
That's correct.
That's month after month of stress after stress after stress. Now, of course, you can hand that stress to a wedding planner, but one, that's very expensive. And dare I say, being, you know, very British about it, we tend, if we ask somebody else to arrange something, to then pick apart what they've arranged. I wouldn't have done it that way. I don't know why she didn't do it this way. Right. But actually, you're taking everything and turning it on its head, and you're handing the power back to the people. Tell us how you do it.
Okay, well basically, to say, it's a full day of advising you of everything. One of the things that the British don't do, unfortunately, is negotiate, and one of the big things in the class is explaining and teaching you the skills to be able to negotiate with all of your suppliers, all the wedding suppliers, and you know, by the end of the day, we guarantee that you will actually leave our classes being empowered to be able to organise your wedding yourself. So that's what we do. It's
like you say there about, you know, costs as well. People mention the word wedding and suddenly zero seems to be added on to the end, and people just blindly pay it because they don't realise there's an alternative.
That's correct.
As you know, the British can feel quite cheeky to even suggest that they could have a discount or negotiate something, but you teach them that actually you're not being cheeky at all, and ways to do it without feeling uncomfortable.
That's right. As I say, the British have always organised their own weddings, and things are a lot different than they used to be. So when your mum actually got married, she didn't spend anything like a lot of brides actually spend today.
What's the average cost of a wedding these days?
The average cost of a wedding is around 18 to 20,000 in the northwest. Right. In London, it's a bit more, maybe 20 to 25.
So your business, I'm fascinated. You've got a wonderful story behind you as well. Just give me a potted history of how you started this business, because you've been arranging things for people forever and a day.
Absolutely have, yes. I had a fantastic mother who was very, very hands-on and very, very talented, and basically in the Caribbean community within Manchester, people used to ask, oh, could you make me a cake for my birthday? Could you make me a cake for somebody's wedding? And it stemmed from there to her doing flowers and to doing venue dressing and literally to organising people's weddings. And as a child from like age 9, I used to help with everything, and that's how we've actually picked it up over the years, to the point now where, as I say, anything to do with weddings I absolutely love, and I am the fountain of all knowledge with regards to weddings.
And that must be so reassuring for the bride, because very quickly wedding plans can go from being very exciting and, you know, it will seem very glamorous, and then suddenly turning to blind panic because you realise how much is to do, and I think it can be quite overwhelming for the average bride.
Very daunting.
But you in fact turn it, as you mentioned, that into quite a fun day. It's only the hours, is it 9 to 4? So it's not, you know, it's not too intense. It's a nice amount of time. You're not going to bombard people with too much information. And just talk us through really what happens on that day.
Okay, so on the day, you'll come and you'll get a complimentary drink when you first come, okay? And basically,
it's always a good start, isn't it?
It's always a good start, yeah. We have like a wedding tutor who will actually, as I say, take you through the different parts of your wedding. So they'll talk about the first things that you actually need to do when you first get engaged. So obviously, you get onto Facebook and you tell the world, really, don't you? And obviously, you venue.
Or you tell me and I'll tell the world for you.
Exactly. And then, as I say, she takes you through all the different stages, because there are actually different stages with regards to getting married. As I say, there's the initial stage of telling everybody, and then the actual booking of your suppliers and so on and so forth.
Patricia, just before you carry on, you're not talking about on these one-day academies, you're not sort of talking about sitting in the equivalent of a theatre with row and row and row of people.
Absolutely.
You're only talking about a select few here, aren't you?
I'm talking about a select few, okay. And these wedding workshops, which I actually call them, are actually held at some of the most fantastic wedding venues right throughout the northwest, okay. So we're looking at places like 5-star hotels and country house hotels. So they're absolutely gorgeous settings, and we're in these absolutely lovely rooms. Some places it's a conservatory.
So it's a really relaxed environment.
Really relaxed environment, and that's the whole point of the day. You are not going to school, you're not going to college. It's a real lovely day in which you can ask any questions that you like.
Now this is so popular so far in the Northwest. Now this is a relatively recent company, isn't it?
Absolutely.
How long have you been running this particular company?
From October 2009.
And so already you're looking to expand this into other areas of the UK as well. You're based in the Northwest at the moment.
That's correct.
But I mean, even if you're not in the Northwest, I mean, Patricia's website is just fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, I would seriously get straight onto it. weddingacademy.co.uk. You've got some top tips for us as well, have you, in terms of the preparation and the most kind of frequently asked questions from brides? Give us just a hint of a couple of those.
Okay. My absolute top tip is think about your budget. You've absolutely got to get that sorted first of all. Once you know what your budget is, try and stick to it. Okay, it's not what you spend your money on, it's how wisely you spend your money. Okay, so that's my top tip. My next tip is negotiate. Always negotiate. Try and get 2 or 3 quotes, and then maybe take an average from those. Work out which of those suppliers, even if the most expensive supplier, he's not giving you the best rate, go back and negotiate with him. Okay. My next tip is be flexible. Okay, you've got to be flexible. Reason I say that is because if you have your wedding on bank holiday, Valentine's Day, any kind of public holiday, or between May to October, you will pay a lot of money. So think about having it on a Sunday, or having it midweek, or even having
which a lot of people are doing now. A lot of weddings are on Sundays now.
Do you know that will actually half the actual cost of your wedding reception cost if you actually do that?
Isn't it?
It will actually half. And you'll get a lot of bargains as well.
Just very quickly as well, because we're already running out of time, as we do. But Patricia, first of all, give us an idea of how much the Academy Day is, because I think that's important for people to know, because they're expecting £500 to £1,000. Tell us.
Absolutely nowhere near that figure. It actually costs £99 for the bride, and if she'd like to bring somebody with her, which most brides actually do, it would be an extra £50. So the actual day for 2 people with everything that we've mentioned. Actually, I've got to tell you as well, you get an absolutely fantastic goodie bag with lots of pampering and vouchers to actually help you turn up to the big day. It's £149 for both you and a guest.
And you're going away with all of that knowledge, aren't you? And that's the most important thing. And just very quickly, your help doesn't end at the end of the Academy Day, so tell us more about that.
No. Once the workshop is finished, until the day you actually get married, we have a free telephone line, which you can actually call until the day you get married, and we will give you any advice, any help that you actually need.
It's almost like help. You wouldn't think of a helpline for a wedding, would you? But it's one of those things that I think you will possibly need more than once. So that's a lovely idea. Well, thank you, Patricia. I'm sure you've inspired a lot of ladies out there as well. And it's nice to know that it can be a bonding experience. Like you say, 2 people can come along, be it the mother, the bridesmaid, the groom. So it's a lovely sort of day out as well.
Great
Thank you very much for that.
Patricia, thank you so much. Get yourself on to Patricia's website. It will be on our website as well, but it's weddingacademy.co.uk. We've just got to find you a man now. That's
oh, lovely. Well, might need to ring a few helplines to find that, I think.
Yeah, that one out. Exactly. you need to do a lot to live up to that, I'm afraid. You know, no Ronan Keatings, Mark Owens, or anyone else for our Amy.
Not for a while yet, anyway. I don't want to get married just yet. But have a fantastic weekend. Let us know what you get up to on Monday, because we'd like to know. And until then, we'll see you on Monday. Bye bye.
Yes, take care. You're the bridesmaid tomorrow.
I am
as well.
indeed.
Good luck.